Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Stock Talk with Reggie. Today is December 16th, and this is my pre-market breakdown. And I got two fellas that want to say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hi, and it's my birthday.
Yes, and it's Sebastian's birthday.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.
That's right.
And comment happy birthday.
Comment happy birthday to Sebastian. All right. Thanks, guys. They're getting ready for school, so. All right, so today, in today's market, we're going to break down SPY, the VIX, the Dow, IWM, my pick from yesterday, and a new pick from today. So let's start with the VIX as always. All right, guys, we're ready for school. We're ready for school. Now, with the VIX, yesterday was a bit concerning because the VIX was high. It was raising and gaining momentum. And as we know, as the VIX is up, that means stocks will be down. Yesterday, we had a decent day in the market. FANG stocks had a decent day. Tech stocks had a decent day. But we were down in a lot of other sectors. Even though energy had a huge day yesterday, especially with some news announcements on a grid being set up for recharging centers for electric vehicles. So today we're looking at the VIX dropping from 23 down to the 22 range, 22-point range, which is awesome for the VIX because we want the VIX to go down so our stocks can go up. So we hit the peak. As you look down here on the MacD, we hit the peak. When you see that dark green, that means the strength, and the light green shows weakness in the trend. So that means we're trending back down again, which is good news for today, tomorrow, and hopefully next week, because next week I'm a bit concerned with the Tesla going to the S&P 500. Usually huge events with that. There's a lot of buildup the days before, and then when it actually happens, the market completely tanks. So we'll see what happens with that. Keep an eye on that. I did get out of a lot of my positions yesterday. Option positions. Now, equity positions, you stay in. If you have shares of companies, just because the market may drop next week doesn't mean you get out of your position. Because you should be, especially if you've been following my channel, you should be in a really good position on your positions where if the office, the market takes a little bit of a dive, you should still be in the green. So that's the VIX. Looking good on the VIX. Let's go to the SPY. This S&P 500, mostly tech stocks. This S&P 500 is the stock market, in my opinion. The stock market moves, passes and fails with the S&P 500. So the S&P 500. Let's zoom in. So yesterday we traded within the range that as expected. It did come up higher than I thought it would, which was good for the market. And so we're looking at where we're in the 370 range right now, and I foresee it probably staying within 370. It may dip down a little bit. Let's go to the 4-hour chart to get a better view. As you're looking at a 4-hour chart, it looks like we are. Let me get rid of these trend lines so we can see a little better. All right, so it looks like we're hitting in a tight range. So the Bollinger Band is in a tight range in our 4-hour chart, which means it's going to be some sort of it's going to explode to the upside or to the downside because it's going to break out of this range in one direction or another. And according to the MacD, we're building momentum towards the upside. And according to the RSI, we're in overbought territory. So, which one do we choose, right? I like to go with the MacD because we can stay in overbought and ride the overbought as the stock rises. And the MacD sometimes just resets. So I'm thinking we're going to explode towards the upside. According to the 4-hour chart, let's do the daily chart showing us. The daily chart is showing us we're up, but it's starting off in a gap. So I'm thinking it's going to come down a little bit to 369 again and probably shoot back up. And today we may see a high of 373 in the SPY. Based off of yesterday in our charts I saw yesterday, we are looking we're building a lot of momentum towards the upside. So we may see green today and tomorrow in the stock market. Let's look at the Dow Jones Industrial. Dow Jones Industrial is trading within a range. So it's trading within a range here. Yesterday we had a red day, well, sell off, a little bit of a sell off on the Dow Jones Industrial, but we're still staying within this range within the Dow. At some point, it will break out. RSI is in oversold territory, which is which helps position the stock to move up. But we have a divergence with the MacD, and the MacD is showing downwards pressure on the stock, and not showing any turnaround anytime soon with that big old gap there. Let's get the IWM, which represents the Russell small cap stocks, and we have the Russell trading in the upward range. It's called an ascending channel, and that ascending channel looks pretty strong. Looks like we're going to open up at 195 with the Russell. The Russell is showing good strength. We may come back down a little bit because it looks like we're going to open hitting the top of that Bollinger Band. As we know, once it hits the top of the Bollinger Band, it must bounce down at some point. So we may stay within this trading range. So I foresee the IWM, the Russell, this is the Russell ETF, trading at a low today of 191, and at a high, it probably will stick around the 195 mark. If it gets good strength and momentum, which looks like we got a lot of volume coming back into the market, it may push up. The RSI is starting to trend upwards towards the overbought territory, which is good. That means we have upwards pressure, according to the RSI, and the MACD is opening up towards upward upside pressure too. So we may somehow it may bust through the top line of the MACD, which means Friday will it'll probably come back down if we go too high above the top of the Bollinger Band here. So my pick of the day yesterday was Genius Brand, and if you got it on Genius Brand, it gapped up all the way to $2, and the whole dollar mark for any stock is usually hard to push through. You usually get some resistance, and so it bounced back down, and now we're back up. It bounced down to all the way down to 156, but generally stayed within the 166 and the 193 range. And today looked like we're opening up back around 170. It looks like what's happened here, you see this green line, that's the top of the Bollinger Band. So it looks like it exploded through the Bollinger Band, just like the day before, exploded through the Bollinger Band, and always will come back down. So it's come back down to take a breather, and we'll probably have another spike up today, especially if it respects this trend here, this red trend line. I foresee it if we can break past the 173 mark, we'll probably go into the stratosphere too and retest that $2 mark on Genius Brand. Genius Brand is was a considered a pump and dump stock at one point, but it's gaining momentum now, especially with the recovery. It's television children's programming. Of course, it struggled through COVID. A lot of programming struggled through COVID, but they're getting contracts. They're signing deals. They're doing pretty well for themselves. So I'm still a fan of Genius Brand, and it's a cheap stock, so it's getting on the ground floor. My stock pick of the day is ride. Lordstrom Motors. That's right, Lordstrom Motors is my pick of the day. Because look at the setup we have here. We're hitting the bottom. We hit good resistance here, support, excuse me, good support here at the $18 mark, bounced up, right? And we're below the moving average of the Bollinger Band, the center line, which again, like I said, when good stocks are below that line or even touching the bottom of the Bollinger Band, that's usually a good buy signal if it's a stock you believe has growth potential. As we see, we've got super good, really good volume on yesterday. The volume just shot up, and we had a bunch of red days on volume, even a good volume on this red day. But when you see that, there's buying people. That means even institutional buyers see this as a good entry point. We see a lot of volume when it's down low like this. And so we got good volume here. If we look at the MACD indicator, we're ending our downtrend. We're starting seeing weakness going to the downside and heading to the upside. This blue line here is starting to curve upwards. So the MACD is showing upwards momentum and also is being supported by the RSI. Your RSI right now is in oversold territory and pushing back to the upside and going within the RSI range. So this is this just screams buy now on Lordstrom Motors. They're moving based off of news yesterday. A lot of EV stocks moved yesterday. A lot of renewable energy stocks moved yesterday because of talk of introducing bills for infrastructure build outs of electric charging stations for EV vehicles. Lordstrom Motors is a EV vehicle company, but they're also deep in infrastructure. And so that benefits Lordstrom Motors. So they're trying to buy, they're also invested in purchasing market grids for electric vehicles. And they also have a partnership and bought a company too that builds batteries. So do your homework on excuse me, got a little excited. Do your homework on Lordstrom Motors. That's my pick of the day. The stock chart is set up for a buy. This is a long stock. This is one that may become a especially after Biden gets in office and we start seeing legislation towards pro EV, such as grants and tax rebates for electric vehicle charging stations. So right now we've had a big boom in electric vehicles. The next move is to put in your portfolio the batteries and also the electric charging stations for your portfolio. And stay tuned for a video on that. So that's my pre-market outlook for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to say happy birthday to Sebastian in the comments. And also, when you like and subscribe, you'll get notifications on all my videos that come out. And we hope you have a great day and try to get these guys to school. We'll see you.
Bye. Bye-bye. Hope we're not late for school.
No, we won't be.